Fresh off of a weekend of watching C9 do what we all thought that they would do, we're back. But fortunately, we have a greater reason to rejoice as 100 Thieves fans because we get a little bit special of a treat today.
The C9 victory recap pod.
No, it's
We're not here for that.
It's not going to be one of those.
We decided to skip that show, Cole. We don't need it.
Yeah. You know what? No one needs that show, in fact. What we need instead is a wonderful opportunity to get to talk to a 100 Thieves player. This is actually we've had the Call of Duty guys on when we saw a Call of Duty team, and we've had coaches, we've had staff, we've had analysts. We have not had a real live LCS player. And nothing gives me more pleasure than to introduce to the show, welcome to 100 Talk, Ryoma. How are you doing, man?
What's up?
How are you guys?
We're doing wonderful. The room you're in looks very sterile and clean. Like there's no chance of any COVID-19 infections in there whatsoever.
Yeah, it's very clean. It's very, very clean.
Strategic framing. Right? Just put everything down here. That's what I do.
Yeah. Well, Tommy, we've got you here for about 30 minutes of conversation. We're going to try and roll through as much as possible. So forgive us if it's a little packed, but we'll try and be sensitive with your time here tonight.
Yeah.
So we wanted to start. I mean, you've undoubtedly been the most scrutinized signing by 100 Thieves in the brief history of the organization. Now, I will say at the same time, it's also undeniable that you converted a lot of 100T fans into believers by the end of this run this year. So wanted to get your take first on what the pressure felt like for you, because I'm sure you're seeing some of this online and in chat and stuff. So what did that pressure feel like for you? And was there anything in particular that you felt was helping you to unlock more of your potential, especially as we hit the second half of the split?
Yeah, I'll touch on it a bit. I did definitely have a rough start. I think it's pretty easy to say. I think what helped me the most was just the support. Even though this is going to sound very cliche, I think the support from 100 Thieves, the coaching staff, my players around me, even they knew I was going for a pretty hard time. I think the way I headed into the first couple of weeks of this LCS, I didn't have the best mindset. I guess I had a very, I would say, cocky. I just thought maybe I could smurf it, but it is what it is. And I think and then at the end, when you set yourself an expectation and it doesn't work out right, kind of hits you very hard. But I think just a lot of pretty much everyone from the team helped me recover a lot, and I think that's what made me have a better run in the end, the split two, which I'm not split two, the second half of it. And I think that was the most. Yeah, that was the most support I've ever had from just teammates. They all just helped me so much from that rough start, and I just felt even now I feel a lot more comfortable playing just League.
Yeah, that's cool. I heard you talk about the team coming together, playing Mafia and stuff like that, just doing the team building things that you may not always have a chance to do when you're digging really deep in the middle of a split, so it's good to hear that sort of thing helps you along. And really for us, and Jordan, you can maybe weigh in on this a little bit as well, but for us, there was a palpable difference when you hit the second round robin, and it just felt like something was really coming online for you.
Did it feel like there was a switch from was there a moment in time you're okay, now I get it? Or was it more just you're that much more comfortable? You feel like you're playing your game, the kind of the new scene jitters are leaving a little bit?
I'd say probably just understanding the game more from just the whole. I've always as a player, the past 3 years I was playing competitive. Even when I first started playing, I was always I'd say selfish. Just as a player, I I would never like try to help my team, but now I understand what the game is more about, and just helping my team and just bouncing off each other and just using that, like just pretty much always relying on your teammates and they rely on you, and from there like always just using your individual skills to pretty much help your team. And I think like the more I understood the game, like the more easier it would help me like just understand the map in general. So I think the most important thing is probably just like understanding the map and trying to improve your awareness like every day.
Were there like marked differences in, quote, understanding the map between like your previous region and when you came here to NA?
I mean, I think in 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 O's, I think it's very hard to play as a team because you don't have like the best, I would say, coaching stuff, I guess.
Mm.
I'd say. I just think the way people understand the game in O's, I think it's just like, because it first started out just with like, oh yeah, everyone just get better, in their own role, and then
Mhm.
just try to like win your lane, win the game pretty much. But you can't really do that in like in a higher level of league. So I think just understanding the game as a team is like the most important thing. And if I could go back before, I feel like I would definitely help my team so much more than what I did my previous years I've been playing in those.
Yeah.
That's interesting to think about, just the mentality you left OS with, and then the way you came into NA, just with the expectation that maybe you could just roll people, right? You're going to
Yeah.
smurf, you're going to
Yeah.
take over your lane. So on that note, what was your expectation specifically, kind of so far as yourself goes, the way you would play, and then the team that you were joining as well coming into the split? Because we talked a lot about that, just having an off season last season and the expectations of this squad. So interested for your take on expectations of yourself and the team coming into the split.
My expectations was I mean, I ended up just playing Zoe, a lot of Zoe and stuff. So Zoe Syndra. I mean, I like playing those champs a lot, but I think there was a lot more that I could have done as a player that hasn't been shown yet. So I think that's definitely something I'm trying to work on heading into Split 2, and we have a lot of time. I think I didn't, well, for me at least, individually, I don't think I have hit where I wanted to hit yet. So I think in Split 2, I'll definitely be showing a lot more than what I did in Split 1. As a team, I think everyone is pretty fair to say that we're still not happy with where we placed. I think we wanted more. Um, I think I think that's all we pretty much wanted. We just want more and more, and I don't think anyone else wants different.
I gotta say, man, watching the heist when they showed you at the conclusion of the TSM series, that was like heartbreaking, man. Like it was very apparent how much you wanted that, and how much of a difference that would have made for the whole team to win that series. And speaking like as a fan to you, we love seeing that. Like I absolutely love seeing that, and
I
I'm
don't
sure
love
that was
seeing that.
I was gonna say, I'm sure that was a difficult moment, for you to have broadcast to everybody. But I just wanted to tell you, like, I mean, I was really appreciative of seeing that, drive and emotional dedication to the moment. So just know that was, from a fan perspective, that was amazing to see.
Well, it was apparent that you weren't going to be content. Right?
Yeah.
And I'll just say also that as a fan of this organization from the start, this is not the first time we've had our hearts broken by Bjergsen. So we that was a feeling that's too familiar for us, and it's made us want to win even more. So I'm sure that that'll be the same feeling you take from that specific series. I'm looking forward to the rematch next split. I think it's going to be great.
Me too. Don't worry. Don't worry too much about it. I am too.
I still have nightmares from previous splits about the Zillion Scion combo.
Ugh, so busted.
Okay, so Tommy, this question I threw out here, I was interesting to see how you thought about this. Is there anything you feel that fans don't understand properly about you, or about 100 Thieves, the team, or about League of Legends in general, that you wish you could kind of correct a misunderstanding or anything like that?
I mean, I feel like, I think it's fair. I had a really rough split, like at the start, right? Obviously. I think I look back, even myself, I look back on it, I'm like, damn, I was still really bad when I headed when I headed in, right? So I still think the same way, even like maybe even against like the like endings of like the split one, I still feel the same. I mean, I feel like I can be better than this, and I still need a bit more time, but I'm working on pretty much everything that I lacked in the most, the entire split, so that I can improve for split two. So just try to expect. I mean, just wait for split two, I guess. I think I'll do a lot better this time.
I like
Man,
your definition of hard start too. I mean, I don't know if you remember like your stat line from game 1 was 4-1-9 on your Zoe. And week 3 played Zoe again, went 4-0-7. So, or I'm sorry, that was week 2 that you played that game 3. So but I know what you're saying. There is a little bit there, but certainly started to turn around for the second half, as we mentioned. Jordan, go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say, if you say watch for summer split. If summer split is anything like the progression of first round robin to second round robin, I think we're all very excited. And even some of your playoff games, right? Series didn't go the way we wanted to, but there was a couple of games there where you just took over. So yeah, I would say, and what I've been hearing too is I think through your play you've demonstrated to people that you're somebody to keep watching. So we're all there for that for sure.
Now, I wanted to also get your take on this. So something that I know within our own fan community, we've been debating this a lot. Stage versus scrim performance, and also online versus in person. So did playoffs being online like feel different in a material way for you? Did you get a different result that you feel is attributable to that? Like if you were to say actually like play in person for playoffs, what difference would it have made to you, if any?
I mean, it does still suck a bit that you don't get to play with your teammates, right? Like you don't get to, even after you lose, right? You can't like actually be there to see like everyone, just help people recover if like they need, right? So it's still kind of hard. We had cams, I guess, but it's kind of a different story. But I mean, this was my first time having like an online playoff, so
Yeah.
it's definitely a different feeling. But I think for me anyway, I think I play probably better online. I think for best of 5 scenarios, I think it helps. Like it definitely changes a lot more, like the online versus LCS. But I think for best of ones, I'd say it's kind of similar. I guess I would say it's kind of similar still, but yeah, I don't think it would have changed our results too much though. Maybe like at the end, I guess, but it is what it is.
What would you say is the difference when it comes to best of 5? Is it just that you kind of have a more relaxed environment? You don't have the pressure of being on a stage. It's not the crowd, the noise, all that kind of stuff. Or for you, what does it come down to?
Just like I've always found like the support of my teammates just helpful. Just anything, like any feedback, just anything like in real life that if someone needs help with, I would want to help them too, and I would want them to help me as well. Just like in the middle of the best of 5, if something's like say consistently going wrong, right? I think just having that is pretty important, but I think online maybe it's a bit more relaxed, I guess.
Yeah, the team environment's very different, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's been interesting to see the what do you got, like the online huddles or whatever with like the cams and the arms out and everything.
Yeah, we've always loved our huddles.
Yeah.
Something we can all relate to is like trying to recreate a personal in-person moment on Skype or Hangouts or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something like we try to like have not a ritual, I guess, just more like try to imitate like the same way we do LCS, right? Wake up at a certain time, do what we need to do. Like if we like need coffee or something, pretty much make sure you have your coffee, right? Just try to make sure the game, I guess LCS day feels the same, I guess, so that you can treat it the same way.
Yeah. So speaking of environments and stuff like that, like obviously coming from OSH to NA is going to feel way different on the operations side, on logistics, on the team resources and everything. Wanted to get your take on how the experience of playing specifically for 100 Thieves has felt for you, and if that's differed in any material way from other teams aside from just the pure fact that you're playing in a major region now?
So pretty much just comparing my previous teams as well, right?
Well, yeah, and
Yeah.
especially from like a what's available to you on the resource
Yeah.
side, how
I mean,
how you feel about all that.
I think there's a pretty big gap.
Yeah.
For sure. I think 100 Thieves have definitely not disappointed me. Like I think they've done like everything they could have for me. I don't think I could have asked for anything different. Um, just like in O's, it kind of takes a while for things to get done, but here it kind of happens instantly, and I don't know, it kind of feels like I'm just here playing the game, and if I need something, it's always going to be there for me. If I need any support, it's going to be there. If I need pretty much anything, I'll always make sure like it'll always get done. So yeah, it feels really nice.
You mentioned the coaching staff and kind of the team infrastructure being different in NA. One thing I picked up on that I thought was really cool is just the way that you and Someday seem to kind of mesh. And I'm curious, over the course of the split, we saw Someday kind of pop off with some of the most insane plays I've ever seen. So just curious, having the ability to play next to somebody like that. Obviously, you guys are in different roles, but is that something that you kind of picked up on from him? Do you feel like your style has changed in any way, just being close to him and having him as kind of a mentor for you?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely one of my close teammates too. I think he's one of the closest I've ever had, I guess. I think I like the way he plays, just like the way he does things. Like it's very like alpha in a way, I guess. Like he's very like strong about his like play,
Yeah.
and it's really respectable because I'm a solo lane as well, and I can see the way he's playing. It's just like, damn, the other top laner must be pretty scared, right? Like, because I would be pretty scared. But I think I hang out with him a lot. I think our friendship has gone a long way. I think even in Denmark, sorry, I think we meshed pretty well. I really like talking to him, and just like I like his personality a lot. I think he's a really awesome guy,
We
and
feel
he's very
similarly.
helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. We like Someday a lot.
And we're advocates of perm power, by the way. So
Absolutely.
so make liberal use of perm power in summer split would be our official recommendation to you.
It's a request, I think.
If we're good at being analysts in any sense of the word, we got to recommend perm power.
Yep.
So a little bit more on Osh versus NA. Honestly, there's been an influx of Osh players into NA. There have been some rule changes on the academy side that allow for some more flexibility there. And just NA, I think, looking for a new talent pool, since we admittedly have some trouble producing our own homegrown products.
We have the same problems too. Don't worry.
well, you have been you've been called upon to improve the league, so that's no small responsibility. So that's actually a pretty big vote of confidence in your region. But I'm sure you're in contact with the other Osh players that are here now. And honestly, it seems like this experiment has gone pretty well. Not only you, but we've also seen like the C9 Academy guys coming over. They just trashed everybody in the finals as well. So in your conversations with them, like, how do you guys view NA now that you've been here and played for a while? And do you think that Osh players in NA is going to be more of a regular thing going forward, or is this a moment in time kind of experiment?
Yeah, I'll touch on this one. This one's actually an interesting one. Actually, I think I talked to the C9 guys a lot too, like the academy players. I think them two especially were pretty good in their role in O's. I think Fudge was like he only played for like
Yeah.
half a year in OPL, and he was already imported, right?
Mm.
And it's pretty clear to say he's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think I think I think most of the OPL has taken most players out. I think I think it's going to be hard to say it's going to be regular, because I think it's a very minor region, like it's very small, like the player base, so it's kind of hard to find very like good mechanically gifted players, right? Like Fudge came out of nowhere in like we've never had like those players in O's that like just come out of nowhere, right? Like it was pretty rare to have, and then since then it was like it's really hard to find those mechanical players in O's, so it's kind of rare. Um, I think I think I think most OC imports have done pretty well though so far. Even Triple in his own right, I think he's had like a better time in academy as well. Just like unlucky placing, but I think he's done pretty well from when I was watching. And I still watch OPL here and there, and it's hard for me to say like this guy's gonna be good enough to get imported, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's only a few that I can say, but yeah, I think it's hard to. I think it's definitely hard. It's definitely a hard question to answer because it just really depends on like other players, I guess. I think NA and EU have kind of pretty much picked out the best players already.
Yeah.
It'll take time for the local talent to kind of turn back over and
I
see
think
who else shows up.
yeah, I think this is definitely a motivation for them. So if there was any like above average players, right, I think they'll definitely take this chance to like prove them. Even if the like league has dropped off a bit, I think for me anyway, if I was in their shoes, I would be like, this is a chance for like a future, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. So you talked a little bit about some of the champs that you mentioned, Zoe and Syndra, and how that was kind of the duty that you were put on. When we were all watching your scouting reels from before you had actually kind of made the switch and started to play games in NA, we saw a lot of different looks. We saw a lot of different champs that we didn't see either as much or at all this split. So just curious, not asking like what you think. I'm not asking you to project the meta for next split because it'll look different and that'll mean that different champs are good. What would you like to play? Like, what are the champs that you are looking forward to and that you'd really like to bring out in summer?
I'd probably just one in particular probably is Yasuo. I feel like he's definitely been my champ that's been like I guess on top of its game for most of my career, and just like I think I put him in a lot of effort just like to learn him because I was very not bad at him. I was like I was like this champ has such a high ceiling and it's frustrating. So I used a lot of my time like in 2018 to just get better at him, and I mean it's sad, but I think I wasn't good enough to whip him out like in the spring split. So I think if he's ever meta, I think there's definitely a chance of me playing him, but I don't want to look for it too much. But he's definitely one of my better champs, like probably one of my best champs.
Well, 200 IQ by 100 Thieves to have Yasuo signed as a content creator, because then you could just 1v1 him at the compound a bunch, and get your reps up.
Get the reps up. And we do know that there's a pretty good Gragas on the team too, so that should be a strong synergy for you guys. Anybody else we should keep an eye out for?
I guess it's like
they've nerfed a lot of the more fun assassin champs lately.
Yeah, right.
I think Akali was pretty like what was really fun, but she needed to get nerfed. She was like overdue for a nerf. But I guess Irelia is one of the other ones. But yeah, I haven't really been like I don't like. I mean, I like playing Irelia, but I just don't like the ping on NA, so it's kind of annoying to play her. So
yeah,
but I won't blame it on the ping. It's probably just me. But yeah, probably just the Irelia is probably the other one.
All right, cool.
Can I ask you, if you feel comfortable answering this, who was the hardest person you laned against in NA? Like specifically lane phase?
Yeah, this one shouldn't be too hard. I think it's kind of obvious. I think it's it was probably Jensen, and then I think it was Crown. I think them two were. I think those players, or maybe even Jizuke to some extent, but I think Jensen in particular is pretty consistent with his laning phase. I think he doesn't like give you too much options. I think his laning phase is definitely like the better ones out of the midlaners in America, I think.
I can't help but notice the three guys you named were all guys that you came within like the closest margin ever of solo killing in lane. And I gotta tell you, we were watching these games and being like, oh, like if he lands that, like if that kill goes through, he gets the solo kill, like he's set. That just like changes the narrative about your career arc in NA like so much. It's not all right, let's give him time to develop. It's like, oh, he just showed up and he solo killed Crown right away. Like that's a different impact. And so Jordan and I were both crushed by like the narrow misses on silicas for all three of those guys, man.
Yeah, I remember the crown one. That one was pretty funny. I definitely could have killed. I definitely could have killed him if I didn't play too safe. But I played it a bit safe because I thought I was gonna kill him, and I forgot he had stopwatch. But yeah,
Man,
it was pretty funny.
It was like if I can't remember who he's playing, but if that champ had like 4 HP less per level, he would have been dead. Like
Yeah, he was
it
like,
was
yeah, I remember it was like it was like 5 HP or 4 HP. I can't remember.
yeah.
But it was very close. I was like, damn man, I had that one. But even after, I was like, I think I could have killed him anyway.
Yes. So did you leave that matchup? You said he was one of the best people you land against. Did you leave that matchup feeling like? I mean, surely that has to give you some swagger, right?
Yeah, I think just like versing a Korean import, I guess. I think I have a very high opinion on like Korean players. I
Of
think
course, yeah.
when I go to Korea, I feel like I struggle a lot, even against like the master grandmaster players. I think they all like focus a lot on their laning phase, so their fundamentals are very high. I think Crown had that, and that's something I could feel against like say those players. I can definitely feel like they know what they're doing with like say how aggressive they play and stuff. So I think that's what made them good.
Well, we remember that one very fondly. Even if it didn't give you a registered kill, that was about as close as it could possibly get.
Hmm.
I wanted to bring one more thing up, and I guess I should apologize because before we went live, I was telling you like we're not really going to dive deep into League of Legends specifically because that's
Yeah,
not really our thing because we're
it's all right.
idiots. But I will bring up just one more thing. Wanted to get your take on it. One of the interesting stats around your play, like even during early season, was how much damage you were putting out compared to other mid laners when you factor in the amount of golden experience you had at the time. So for the golden experience, your damage output was actually very high. So is there a reason for this? Like, are you just like a fighter who's being caged early on and you're just ready to burst out? Like what is behind this? And is this always been part of your play style, or is this just part of the process of adjusting from playing in Osh?
I mean, I think it's a lot about my play style, but I also miss a lot of things when I'm fighting too much. Like the way I view, I really like say I have a really like kill mindset, I guess, and I kind of shifted it away. So because I need to like focus on like the bigger stuff, as I said, like just gotta work on being like more of a team. But I think also one of my strengths is just like I'd say just skirmishing. I like doing pretty much the maximum damage I could do, no matter what. Even if I'm not in the best position, I still just like dishing out that much damage and making sure I do the most I can in a team fight. Um, but I think there's a lot of things that I have to factor in as well, like what I'm losing if I'm doing like if I'm taking a bad fight and stuff. So that's something I intend to improve on in Split 2. Just choosing better fights and still doing what I can do.
There were a number of plays that stick out to me over the course of the split, where you know that was exactly what you did, right? There's a couple of Blanc plays where you get over a wall and you find somebody and you delete them, even though the fight's done, right? Or you
Yeah.
get over the wall and you delete a jungler so they have no smite, right? So I see that in your play, and I think that's a positive thing to have in the team, even if sometimes you got to pick your fights differently.
Mhm.
So you talked a little bit about prepping for the summer split. I just wanted to ask you, first of all, just a yes or no question. Do you, and we've alluded to this a bit, but do you truly feel like you have fans on your side more now?
Yeah, here and there. I mean, I don't think about it too much, but I can definitely feel like when I do have a good game, I can definitely feel it. But also when I do have a rough game, I can also feel that. But
Yeah, that's
I
true
think,
for anyone though. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like it's nice, but I try not to like let it, get into like my head because ego is also something in League that I try not to, try not to get like the better of me as well. Because every game is gonna be pretty much not the same, but I guess it's like you should head in with the same mentality as always. It's just a fresh game. They can do anything. They can play better today. They can do anything. They could have improved. Like I try not to, yeah, I try not to let it get inside my like pretty much my league focused part. but it's nice hearing here and there.
Yeah, well, like I said, it happens to everyone. I mean, like, even I remember seeing Twitch chat explode when Caps against Mad Lions like had the satchel that ruined their base race and lost in the game and stuff. Like, and you know, people spam craps in chat and like just trash this dude who's obviously like an excellent player, right? But I you know, as I've said, I think I've felt a palpable change. I think you have way more people on your side. I think you've converted people into believers in your future potential. Now, obviously, that's exactly as I say it, right? These people are hoping that you will continue to improve at the same rate that you did in spring split, and believe in a potential that, you know, Ryoma as a player can hit and provide to our team. So with that in mind, like knowing that, I mean, how are you mentally thinking about this upcoming summer split? Like, do you feel freed up by that belief? You know, do you feel like some of the weight is off, or do you feel like, you know, the expectations get higher as well?
For me, I'd say I always keep my expectations high. So I'd say it's a bit of both, I guess. I think the weight is off now as well. I think I'm definitely more comfortable than what I was in, like, say, the start. But I think I know what I lack in I know what I lack in, so that's something I always want to improve, and I'll just pretty much keep improving at it no matter what. And in split 2, that's something I like. The stuff I lacked in was pretty obvious, so I definitely will look a lot better than what I did, even at the end. And that's something I will pretty much just focus on no matter what, just trying to improve on that and making sure it's on top of its game.
One thing I'll add is, I think for a lot of players, making it through that first split seems to be kind of a turning point, right? Like if you can demonstrate in a split that you can hang with the players in the LCS, that you can pop off, that you can get some solo kills, that you can make huge plays, you've earned yourself some time. And I think that's very squarely where we stand, at least as from the perspective of the fans, right? Like that's enough for us to say, yeah, let's see some more. So congrats on that. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment in itself, right? Like you came and you made a name for yourself, and you started to show everybody what you can do.
Yeah. And I would add that, you know, you talked about, after the TSM loss, still feeling like you could have done better and the team wanted to place better. I mean, all of us were pleasantly surprised, I think, by just how much the team came together, you know, and the fact that we were in contention for like second place in the regular season, like
Wow.
that was not something that most of us had in mind at the beginning of the split. So we're all really encouraged by that. And again, as I said, there's just seeing your passion for wanting more is just excellent for us to see. So we're really excited for you to get back to summer. I'm sure you'll be using this time to grind. I mean, coronavirus has basically rid you of all your other opportunities to to do other things. But before we sign off for the night, anything else you want to put out there? Anything you want to say to? We have a nice contingent of positive fans in the Twitch chat. Anything you want to say to them, or just to the 100 Thieves community in general?
I'd say pretty much for everyone, just the fans. Even though, you know, say we had a rough ending, I guess we didn't place like the highest in my opinion, but I definitely will have I think we'll definitely do way better than we did in split 1, even though I wouldn't say it was like the worst. I guess it was definitely fine, but I'm not happy with fine. So I think for sure, I think we'll do way better in split 2, and I think pretty much everything that we lacked in, I think we'll make sure we're on top of our game with it. So that's something I'll always be looking forward to do, and I want to pretty much help my team and pretty much just keep getting better and keep up with the other teams, especially C9 in split 2.
Especially C9.
That's a high bar, but we can do it, man. We can do it.
Well, this feels like an appropriate time to just say, trust the Papa.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is what it's all about. It's incremental improvement. It's gains all the time. It's keeping track with the the C9s of the world.
Yeah.
So,
well, we love this. We love to see it, man. We love to see the hunger, and have enjoyed watching you play this split, and wish you all the best as you prepare for summer. And thank you profusely for spending some time with us. Yeah, we're really appreciative that you took some time to hang out with us and give you a chance to speak to some of your most passionate, dedicated 100 Thieves fans. Tommy, again, best for everything you're doing right now. Good luck in your off-season prep, and know that you've got us behind you, man.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Take care, bud.
See you guys. Thank you.